Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and LEGO is throwing it back to 2004 with the release of the Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock subway train scene set from Spider-Man 2. It's really cool to get a Tobey Maguire themed set. It's actually been quite a long time since we've gotten sets based off of those movies, and this is a really cool one to do. I, for one, cannot wait to showcase this in greater detail. There's a lot of really cool minifigures and stuff to take a look at here, including an exclusive Peter Parker minifigure with that ripped costume from the movie. So let's jump in right now. Next up, we have another movie-based set, but this is actually based off of the original Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 movie, which is really cool to get a full-on dedicated set in 2025. This is 76321 Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock subway train scene. It retails for $55 and comes with 393 pieces. It also retails for 50 euros if you're curious in the Eurozone. The set comes with 4 different minifigures, a new version of Peter Parker's Spider-Man from that particular scene with an angry and focused face and a ripped suit, Doc Ock, who is brand new for this set as well, J. Jonah Jameson, and Aunt May. So altogether, we're actually getting a pretty nice load of minifigures in this set. Now, here is my thing about the set. I've seen a lot of people online actually really loving this set, and I do like it for what it is, but I do have one major problem with the set, and maybe this is just me, but I really miss the days when LEGO was really primarily focused on sets being fun to play with and being play toys. And I understand anyone who's a really big fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies is probably an adult right now. They're not really going to be like a young kid wanting to play with it, but this is being marketed as a toy for kids. And so, my big question is, where are the play features? The original version of this set, made for the original movie, had a whole track, it had cobwebs that the train could slam into, it literally had bits and pieces of buildings you could kind of rip cobwebs off of, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever as a kid when I got that set. It was top of my wanted list because I wanted to play and act the function. It was super simple, it literally was just kind of like a Technic-based slammer. You push a handle and the train kind of goes down the track and hits a bunch of cobwebs, but it was actually fun to play with. But this set is literally just the subway train car, and the name of the set is very obvious. This is the subway train scene. It's not supposed to be a playset, it's barely supposed to be something for kids, it's literally just meant to be a scene for you to reenact the movie. But then I wonder, well, for $55 you have 393 pieces, why doesn't this have a track? Why doesn't this have some sort of a diorama style set? If you're going to go all the way and make this a depiction of the movie scene, why don't you have it be like an 18+ set with a black box, a whole diorama, maybe a printed movie quote, and then in that case, then it would make a lot more sense to have this as a scene that you can't play with. This to me feels like a bit of an in-between, where obviously it's meant to be posable and playable. You've got the different bricks kind of going alongside the side of the train, and they literally include extra pieces underneath the train that I'm showcasing right now, where you kind of remove some of the plates that you can use to make it such that you can turn the wheels. So obviously, part of it is at least meant for play, but then you have some like strange details like the wheels on the train itself being super detailed. Like you've got some greebling detail on the back side of the train wheels, which I'm certainly not necessarily complaining about, but was that really the best way to spend the parts budget for this $55 set if you didn't even have a track to play with it on? So the wheels turning are basically useless. It really is only for people wanting to add this to a larger diorama. I don't know, I think that I'm definitely being a lot more critical on this set than most people. I know a lot of fans online really like this set, and I don't want to take away from that. If you like this set, all the more power to you. Just to me, this feels like a strange amalgam of LEGO trying to do both a play and display set, but not really succeeding at either thing. That's really just my opinion, and I know this is going to be a controversial take, so do let me know in the comments what you think. And again, I know that the people who are really excited about this set are people who grew up watching the original Spider-Man films, which came out in 2002, over 20 years ago. So I understand, obviously you're not necessarily going to be having a ton of kids be really excited about the set, but then I wonder like why even make make it a kid's playset, like just do an 18 plus set. So altogether, it's a weird one to me. I think it is genuinely pretty good for what it is. Like, it is a decent subway train build. There aren't really that many ways to make it more interesting than it actually is. In theory, you could actually hook this up to another train. You can see that I just showcased that connection there. You just need to kind of connect things with Technic. And of course, it is cool to have Spider-Man be mounted on the front. You have the cobwebs he's using to kind of restrain the rest of the train and hold it back, and you can see the cobwebs snapping behind him. But altogether, it just feels like really expensive, $55, and for what you get, I just feel like it's not that fun to play with, nor is it a very good display model because it doesn't even have any sort of track to display it on. Moving onwards to the minifigures though, before I share my final thoughts on the set, I actually do think the minifigures in the set are pretty good. The face on the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is so perfect for the character. I was really worried LEGO was going to use a generic head for him again, but they made one specifically for him, and you can kind of pretend like that other expression is maybe like from Spider-Man 3 where he's being super cocky and kind of just grinning and smirking at people. I think both sides of the head really fit for the character, so I really like that aspect of the detail. Having the ripped suit be an exclusive minifigure to this set and this scene in particular is really special, and I love that they managed to maintain the dual molded legs too. So altogether, I'm a big fan of this minifigure. I think this is going to be a really popular one, especially going forwards into the future when people probably will have to get this set just for that figure. Aunt May, on the other hand, is pretty much just utilizing pre-existing pieces, but I think they did a pretty good job with Aunt May. They're using kind of a similar like old woman face that they've just had around for a few years. I believe it's used in Harry Potter the most, but I think it's okay for the character. Nothing much else I have to say about this one in particular, but I think it does fit her depiction in the movies. J. Jonah Jameson, on the other hand, I want pictures of Spider-Man! He has a really nice new facial expression and a recolored Zane hair from Ninjago in brown, which works fantastically for the character. The suit itself is nothing new, we have seen that before, but I think the face expression and the hair just really makes that just a very good figure. And then finally, Doc Ock looks really good. I've seen a lot of debate on the color of the coat, and honestly, after looking at behind the scenes images and even screenshots from the movie, I really don't think there's a LEGO color that perfectly represents his coat. In the original days, they used sand green, so I think a lot of people associate that color with his coat, but honestly, I don't really think sand green is the right color at all. I mean, dark brown might have been the closest LEGO color to the coat he's wearing. It's just kind of a weird, like, off brown, maybe slight greenish tint colored coat that doesn't really translate that well to LEGO. Otherwise though, the rest of the minifigure is really cool. I love how posable the arms are, and I like how they kind of alternated where some of them have the light and other ones have that like mini grabber arm he has on the end of his claws. I think that is a really nice touch, and the hairpiece is a good one to use as well, originating from BTS, but I think it really perfectly captures kind of the messy hair that he has. Of course, the headpiece is reused from his appearance in the No Way Home final battle set, but I think it is pretty perfect for the character. Again, it is supposed to be the same character here, so honestly, I'm a fan of the depiction in this set, and I will say the best part of this set are the minifigures. I really have no complaints, and that's kind of surprising for a Marvel set, especially given that one of the figures in the set is literally using pre-existing pieces in the form of Aunt May. I think it all works, so I'm happy with the minifigs, and I have no real complaints about them. But again, sharing my final thoughts on this set, I just feel like the original set from 2004, 4855, Spider-Man's Train Rescue, was just a much more fun set to play with. I have a lot of fond memories of slamming down the Technic assembly, having it smash into the cobwebs. It was genuinely so much fun to play with, and this set itself is supposed to be a kid's set to play with. Obviously, it is marketed more towards, or I guess it's made more towards adults, but it's a 9+ set. Kids 9 and up are supposed to be able to have fun with this, and I can't imagine kids having that much fun with this when there's literally nothing to do. There's basically nothing to do in the interior, there's a few controls, and that's basically it, and the cobwebs are mounted at fixed angles. It feels more like it was plucked out of an 18+ diorama, and they decided to make it a 9+ set. It's just a really weird thing to me. It feels like it doesn't quite fit in with one way or the other. So those are just my thoughts, and the $55 price tag, while not necessarily the most overpriced set of the entire wave, definitely is pretty tough to swallow, especially compared to a lot of other sets that have come out recently. So that's all I have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this early look at the brand new Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock subway train scene. That's all I have to say about this one, and that's all for now. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Bye for now.